Have you ever wondered how France, a country known for its culture, fashion, and cuisine, came to be what it is today? Let's wind back the clock and dive deep into the dawn of French history. Our journey begins in the misty realms of prehistory, where the first inhabitants of what is now France left their mark on the world. In the depths of the Lascaux caves, we find a remarkable testament to human creativity and spirit. These cave paintings, crafted over 17,000 years ago, depict an array of wild animals and abstract symbols, offering tantalizing glimpses into the minds of our distant ancestors. As centuries rolled on, the area we now know as France began to take shape. The Celts, a group of tribes known as the Gauls, settled in the region around 2,500 years ago. Their culture, rich in art, religion, and warfare, became a dominant force, shaping the land with their hill forts and their unique way of life. But as we all know, no empire lasts forever. The power of the Gauls was challenged in the 1st century BC by a force from the south, the Roman Empire. Julius Caesar, one of the most famous figures in history, led a brutal and effective conquest of Gaul. The Gauls put up a fierce resistance, but ultimately, the might of Rome was too great. With the fall of the Gauls, the Roman era began. The Romans brought with them their language, their laws, and their way of life. They built roads, aqueducts, and cities. Their influence seeped into every corner of Gaul, forever altering the course of its history. The Roman era laid the foundation for what would later become France, but the story is just getting started. Here we pause, but only for a moment. Ahead we have a parade of kings and queens, wars and revolutions, triumphs and tragedies. So, stay with us as we continue our journey through the riveting history of France. Imagine a land where Roman influence fades and a new kingdom is born. As the 5th century rolled in, the mighty Western Roman Empire, once the paragon of civilization, found itself in a decline. The intricate network of roads, aqueducts, and cities that had spread across Europe began to crumble, and in its place, a new power emerged, the Franks. The Franks were a confederation of Germanic tribes that had been making their presence known in the region we now know as France. They were fierce warriors, and as the Roman Empire's grip weakened, they saw an opportunity to carve out a kingdom of their own. Under the leadership of their king, Clovis, they did just that. Clovis, a name etched in history, was an ambitious and cunning ruler. He united the Frankish tribes under a single banner and converted to Christianity, a move that won him the support of the Roman Church. At the Battle of Soissons, he dealt a crushing blow to the last vestiges of Roman power in Gaul. The year was 501, and the kingdom of the Franks was established. But the story doesn't end there. The real birth of the French kingdom as we know it came under the rule of a man named Charlemagne, or Charles the Great. Crowned king of the Franks in 768, Charlemagne was a man of vision. He dreamed of a unified Christian Europe, and he set out to make that dream a reality. Charlemagne expanded the Frankish kingdom across Western Europe, incorporating Italy, Germany, and parts of Eastern Europe. He established a centralized government, promoted education, and fostered the Carolingian Renaissance, a period of cultural and intellectual revival. On Christmas Day in the year 800, Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne as emperor, marking the birth of the Carolingian Empire, the precursor to the French kingdom. From the ashes of the Roman Empire rose a new kingdom, destined for greatness. This was the birth of the French kingdom, a power that would shape the course of history in the centuries to come. Picture a time of knights, castles, and holy wars. The Middle Ages, a period stretching from the 5th to the 15th century, was a transformative epoch in French history. At the heart of medieval society was the feudal system, a hierarchical structure that dictated everyone's place. Lords would offer protection to their vassals, who in turn would provide service and loyalty. This system wasn't just about military service. It was a social contract that defined relationships and responsibilities in a world where the rule of law was often determined by the strength of one's sword. But the feudal system was only one part of the puzzle. The Catholic Church was another significant power player, wielding immense influence over the people of France. With the Pope at its helm, the Church had the power to crown kings, levy taxes, and even declare wars. It played a pivotal role in shaping the cultural and intellectual life of the Middle Ages, from the creation of universities to the preservation of knowledge through monastic scriptoria. And speaking of wars, we can't overlook France's involvement in the Crusades, those religiously charged expeditions that sought to reclaim Jerusalem and other holy lands from Muslim control. Whether it was the legendary exploits of Richard the Lionheart or the tragic missteps of the Children's Crusade, the French were deeply involved in these holy wars. The Crusades not only changed the map of the world, but also left a lasting impact on French society, stirring up a fervor of religious passion and a thirst for exploration and conquest. Yet, the Middle Ages were not all about conflict and power struggles. This era also saw the blossoming of Gothic architecture, the birth of chivalry, and the development of a rich literary tradition in the form of troubadour poetry and Arthurian romances. The Middle Ages shaped France in profound ways, but change was on the horizon. As the 15th century dawned, the winds of the Renaissance began to blow, bringing with them new ideas, new challenges, and a new chapter in the story of France. Envision an era of cultural rebirth and absolute monarchy. This was the time of the French Renaissance, a period of significant cultural and artistic change in France. The Renaissance began in Italy in the 14th century, but it was not until the 16th century that it reached France. This period was marked by a surge in art, literature, and learning. The French Renaissance was a time of intellectual and cultural revival, inspired by the classical ideals of ancient Greece and Rome. Francis I, who ascended to the throne in the early 16th century, was a critical figure in this period. Known for his patronage of the arts and letters, he invited Leonardo da Vinci to France, acquiring the now iconic Mona Lisa. His reign marked a shift towards absolute monarchy and the expansion of French influence across Europe. But if we're talking about absolute monarchy, we can't overlook Louis XIV, also known as the Sun King. His reign, which lasted over 70 years, is often associated with the pinnacle of absolute monarchy. The Sun King's reign was marked by grandeur and extravagance, exemplified by the construction of the opulent Palace of Versailles. Louis XIV's centralization of power and his belief in the divine right of kings defined the principles of what would become known as absolutism. His reign, however, was not without conflict. The Sun King's ambitious wars and extravagant lifestyle drained France's resources, leading to economic difficulties and public discontent. Yet, despite the challenges, the Sun King's reign had a profound impact on French culture. His court at Versailles became the cultural heart of Europe, setting trends in fashion, art, and architecture. His reign saw the establishment of the French Academy, which set standards for the French language, further establishing French cultural dominance. The Sun King's reign ended, but his legacy lived on, paving the way for a revolution. His centralization of power and the financial strain of his reign set the stage for the upheaval that would follow. But that, dear listeners, is a story for another time. Imagine a time when the monarchy fell and the people rose. It was a period marked by social and political upheaval known as the French Revolution, which started in 1789 and lasted until the late 1790s. In the midst of economic hardships and social inequality, the French populace revolted against the monarchy. The Bastille, a symbol of royal tyranny, was stormed, signaling the start of the revolution. The rallying cry of Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, meaning liberty, equality, fraternity, echoed throughout the nation, embodying the revolutionary ideals. However, this period of radical social and political change wasn't without its dark side. As the revolution progressed, it became more radical and violent, leading to the Reign of Terror. The guillotine became the symbol of this era, with thousands executed, including King Louis VI and Queen Marie Antoinette. The Reign of Terror ended in 1794, but it left a lasting mark on the nation's psyche. In the wake of the revolution, a young, ambitious general rose to power, Napoleon Bonaparte. His leadership brought stability and order to the chaos-stricken nation. Napoleon introduced a series of reforms in administration, education, and law, known as the Napoleonic Code, which still influences French law today. His military prowess was renowned, leading France to dominate much of Europe. However, his ambition led to his downfall. His invasion of Russia in 1812 was a disastrous failure. Following his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, he was exiled, marking the end of his reign. Napoleon, however, left an indelible imprint on France and the world. The French Revolution and Napoleon forever changed the course of French and world history. They marked the end of absolute monarchy, setting the stage for modern politics, and the influence of these events continues to resonate today. From the ashes of the Revolution and the reign of Napoleon, a new France emerged, paving the way for the nation we know today. Now, let's move into a time closer to our own. As we venture into the 20th century, France found itself embroiled in two world wars that would change the course of its history. The First World War, known as the Great War, saw France as one of the principal actors. It was a period of immense sacrifice, as the nation saw many of its young men perish in the trenches. The war left deep scars on the French landscape and psyche, but it also led to significant societal changes, including the recognition of women's contributions to the war effort. Then, just a few decades later, the Second World War erupted. France was occupied by Nazi Germany, an era marked by fear, oppression, and uncertainty. But even in these darkest hours, the spirit of the French people shone through in the form of the French resistance. These brave men and women, often ordinary citizens, took extraordinary risks to resist the Nazi regime. Their efforts played a crucial role in the eventual liberation of France. In the aftermath of the war, France had to rebuild once again. It was a time of rapid transformation as the nation underwent a process of modernization and decolonization, shedding its colonial past and moving towards becoming the democratic republic we know today. From the ashes of war, the Fifth Republic was born, and France began to re-establish itself as a global power. In the latter part of the 20th century, France played a key role in the formation of the European Union. Its commitment to peace, cooperation, and unity has been instrumental in shaping the continent's political landscape. Today, France stands as a testament to resilience and determination. It's a nation that's proud of its rich history, yet always looking towards the future. It's a country that's been shaped by war and revolution, but one that's also been a cradle of culture, philosophy, and art. Through all its trials and tribulations, France has emerged as a beacon of culture and democracy. From the ashes of conflict, the French spirit has remained unbroken, illuminating the path ahead with the light of progress and unity. So, how did a land of cave painters become a world leader? Let's take a moment to explore the threads that have woven the rich tapestry of French history. In the beginning, we saw how France, a land of cave painters and tribes, evolved into a hub of civilization under Roman rule. The birth of the French kingdom brought a new era of cultural and political growth, setting the stage for a nation that would shape the course of history. The Middle Ages ushered in a time of turmoil and transformation. The Crusades were a testament to the courage and conviction of the French, a people unafraid to venture into the unknown. Yet, it was also a time of introspection and growth, as the nation grappled with the challenges and changes brought by these holy wars. Then came the Renaissance, a period of intellectual and artistic flowering that redefined the French identity. The reign of Louis XIV, the Sun King, saw France ascend to the pinnacle of power and influence, casting a long shadow over Europe and beyond. The French Revolution, a time of great upheaval, marked a turning point in the nation's history. It was a period of radical change, the echoes of which can still be heard today. Napoleon's reign, though brief, left an indelible mark, shaping the nation and the world in countless ways. In modern times, France has continued to evolve, navigating the challenges of a rapidly changing world with resilience and adaptability. From the ashes of two world wars, it has risen to become a beacon of culture, innovation, and democracy. In every era, the French people have displayed an enduring spirit, a capacity to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity. Their history is a testament to this spirit, a narrative of resilience and reinvention that continues to inspire and intrigue. France's history is a testament to the enduring spirit of its people, a spirit that continues to shape the world today. From cave painters to world leaders, the French journey is a captivating tale of resilience, adaptability, and an unwavering spirit.